What is up, my friends? Toby Wayne from Toby Wayne Studios. So I was thinking about videos that I could possibly be making for the channel, and I thought to myself, hey, I should go back and show people what I used to sculpt before the monsters, before the zombies with their brains blown out, before the little oddities and shrunken heads in jars. Um, I used to work in the nursing homes, and they did not pay hardly at all. Like, it was terrible. There were days that I didn't even have enough money to buy lunch. And so I thought, how can I use my art to make some extra money so I can eat? And so I decided one day I was talking to some friends of mine, and they said, oh, you should, sculpt up some little bears. And so I thought, well, all right, so I decided I was going to do it. So before all the monsters and zombies and goo and gore, there were these little tiny bears. And I know some of you are probably snickering right now, but that's okay, because it was these little bears that actually put food on my table, and I'm very thankful for that. I used to be able to make up these bears. These were original sculptures, little one-offs using Super Sculpey. I didn't know anything about Super Sculpey. This was just, I guess, Sculpey at the time. It was the white stuff, and it was terrible clay, but it was bakeable, and I could do little sculptures with it. And so I started making these little bears, and they started selling. I know my mom would take them into her work, and they would sell. I would sell them at the nursing homes. The elderly would see them and love them, and they bought one and two and then three and then four, and then pretty soon they were buying them faster than I could make them, which I was very thankful for. But anyway, yeah, I just thought I would show these quick little bears here. Nowadays I'd probably sculpt him with maybe his head missing, or maybe his guts would be hanging out. I can always modify this one later on. Then I started getting into bigger ones where I would do these, elaborate scenes with these little bears. Look at the dust on this thing. But anyway, this was one that somehow I ended up keeping for myself. I know my mom has a bunch of these. My grandparents, I think, had some. And a bunch of people, elderly people, have them if they're even. This was years ago, so they're probably thrown away, or I don't know what happened to them. And I'm talking about the elderly people. I'm talking about the sculptures. But anyway, yeah, these little guys, and I had a whole plethora of little bears that I did. I liked the bears because those were the most popular. I tried making other ones, and I mean, they sold, but it was just I was just drawn towards the bears. But yeah, I'd make clocks. I made different angel bears. I made little farmer bears. It was just lame ideas, but the people loved them, and they made me a good chunk of change back in the day. But the one thing I remember working on these things was I absolutely hate glitter. I hate that stuff. It would get everywhere. I mean, to this day, I'm still getting glitter, off of these things. My hands are already caked in glitter, I can see. But I'm very thankful because these little bears actually put food on my table. And this was my humble beginning as an artist. Although I will say this, I do want to point this out. Now that I'm looking at this up close, there is right there a little bit of paint on his paw, and there's also some paint on that paw right there, and that is driving me crazy. So anyway, now I'm going to have to go back and repaint these silly bears, but dadgummit. But anyway, I just wanted everybody to kind of get a glimpse at what I used to do back in the day, which was a Tuesday, if anybody's wondering. I used to make these little bears, and I appreciate everybody that took the time, whether they're alive or passed away, that took the time to invest in me as a sculptor in my young youth. And so anyway, yeah, I just wanted to let everybody take a peek at them and kind of give you a little past history on old Toby Wayne. And this makes me want to go sculpt on, a zombie, or maybe you know, my mouthful piece. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm going to get back into sculpting on this guy. But anyway, humble origins of Toby Wayne and Toby Wayne Studios. So anyway, I thank you guys for checking this video out. I figured I would just share it and embarrass myself a little bit, as if I don't do that enough. So anyway, you guys are awesome. Thank you for checking me out. I appreciate the new subscribers. You can also check me out on Instagram, Toby Wayne Studios on Instagram over there. I appreciate it. You guys are awesome, and I'll catch you in the very next video.